Tap in. Tap in. And Corey on the edge. Both side by side. Right, you can go get it. Win it back, Brad. Set up. Great ball, Marco. Matthias, deeper. Help Marco, Matthias. Ryan, help JJ. Good, stay away. Left shoulder, Ryan.
Welcome to a wet Illingdon Sports Centre for round 29 of the NPL New South Wales men's competition. It's Sydney FC taking on Blacktown City. Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very, very wet Illingdon Sports Centre on this Friday evening to kick off the penultimate round in the NPL New South Wales men's competition. It's Sydney FC hosting Blacktown City in a game where the visitors only need a point to secure finals football. But a game where both teams are more of a case of who do we have available than counting how many we have injured or out. Sydney FC, 14 players unavailable from the NPL setup this evening. Blacktown themselves have a number of injured players out. Nick O'Brien, Jared McKinley, of course Travis Major, Mitch Malia. A number of players out for Blacktown, but it gives an opportunity for both teams, for those that perhaps haven't got as many minutes this year, or in Blacktown's case, those looking to cement a position in the squad for the upcoming finals games. A good opportunity to show what some of these players are worth. And we'll go through the lineups now for Sydney FC. In goals, number 12, Alex Zavardinos. Number 4, Miles Milliner. Number 6, Tyler Williams. Number 10, Ty Headley. Number 15, Samuel Lancaster. Number 19, Jordan Graurowski. Number 21, Zach De Jesus. Number 27, Lachlan Middleton. Number 39, Dylan Rose. Number 47, Kalen Marshall-White. And number 14, Jared Middleton. For Blacktown City, in goals, number 1, Caden Henderson. Number 4, Lachlan Campbell. Number 5, Grant Lynch. Number 6, Adam Berry. Number 10, Maxim Yerzh. Number 16, Ben Berry. Number 18, Nick O'Brien. Number 19, Sebastian Hayward. Number 22, Jacob Maniti. Number 23, Jacob Kresnar. And number 25, Ruben Awaratifi. Ruben Awaratifi, of course, scoring Blacktown's winner last week against the Western Sydney Wanderers. A very strong Western Sydney Wanderers outfit. And Sydney on the early opportunity here, and it's almost snuck its way in. It was Lachlan Middleton on the end of that one. Took a deflection, and Blacktown City half asleep there. The ball trickling past the near post. What a start that would have been for the hosts. Less than 30 seconds in, and we almost had the first goal of the evening. An excellent run down the left, and Middleton, his deflected effort going just wide. And Sydney's pressure will continue here. They have a corner now. In-swinger comes in toward the far post. Yerzh heads it away, and Maniti will try to avoid another corner, and he does so. Clearing the ball upfield, and one to chase for Ruben Awaratifi. Brings it down. Early ball switch by Berry. Here's Kresnar now. Kresnar getting his head up as Yerzh there in support. Interestingly, Yerzh and Kresnar once played together quite a long time ago at the Bonnyrigg White Eagles. In a long time since then, Yerzh making the move to Blacktown this year and finding his feet very, very well in the NPL competition. Yerzh only 21 years of age, making a step up from Football League One and arriving from the White Eagles as now the visitors look to create something. And Campbell delivering in toward Awaratifi, headed away. Here's Middleton. And Sydney FC trying to get out of a tight spot. Blacktown pressing well, and Campbell winning the ball back again. Another great ball toward Yerzh, but avoids both of them. Ball played forward, and Lynch reads that, but his interception falls to the feet of Samuel Lancaster, but his touch a little heavy in these tough conditions. Looked a foul throw there from Jacob Kresnar. got away with one, if you ask me. Looking to deliver. Cross taking a deflection. And the visitors have their first corner of this very wet evening. It looked as though it was going to finally clear up. We've had a week full of rain in Sydney. Got excited around 3-4 o'clock when it looked as though the clouds had started to disappear. But behold, they returned with a vengeance, and it hasn't stopped raining here from at least 5 p.m. and it's been quite consistent and heavy as well. As Maniti prepares to deliver an in-swinger of his own for Blacktown. Good ball in toward Lynch. Still there, falling around the box. Strike comes in. Oh, how about that for good footwork from Hayward. Jink pass two defenders only to have his effort blocked, and Blacktown get another corner. This time Yeж will deliver as a dangerous left foot, Maxim Yeж, and will look to find a teammate in the box. Grant Lynch, obvious target. Lachlan Campbell doesn't mind finding a goal either. Hayward goes short, but Yeж will avoid him and goes toward Campbell at the near post and couldn't quite get the connection on the ball that he desired. And O'Brien tried to switch that, but blocked by Gradowski. Here's Yeж now. Turns away well from one. But two there for company immediately and wins the foul. Free kick the way of Blacktown. Positive there from Blacktown's number 10. Opportunity now for another dangerous ball into the area. Yeж will take again. Adam Berry close by in support, but Sydney are now aware to that danger, and Gradowski stands close enough to avoid that pass. The cross comes in, near post again. Can't beat the first defender 2 times in a row, Yeж. Maniti heads it forward for Kresnar. Forced back again to Maniti. Trying to turn away from Middleton, and good pressure from Middleton as the pass goes straight to Gradowski. And now Middleton can't keep it in. Ball goes out, throw in for the visitors, and Sydney asking, how about the foul before that? Interesting to see how Blacktown managed to find goals without both Malia and Major in the squad, who will step up. They do have a number of scorers though across the park. Blacktown. Campbell pokes it forward for Maniti, whose pass is a tough one to chase down as Henderson sends it forward looking for Waratifi. Yeж sneaks in from behind and almost picked up the ball. Good challenge in the end from Jared Middleton. And Zavardinos sends it forward. Lockie Campbell on the ball again, being very involved early on. Now foul goes the way of Sydney. Poor challenge there. It was easy for the referee to make that call. Milner was brought down by O'Brien. And now Sydney have the opportunity themselves to deliver something in the box and give Blacktown something to defend. Ball comes in, dangerous ball. O'Brien got enough on it. Yeж helps it on its way. And now Waratifi looking to lead a counter-attack for the visitors. Hayward, great challenge there from Marshall White. Kresnar back for Lynch. Berry for O'Brien. Now Campbell moving the ball across the back line from left to right. Campbell with a throw. Yeah, trying to hold off Milliner. Wins another throw. Campbell to Maniti. Maniti gets a bit fortunate there. Comes away with the ball. Last touch off a Sydney defender. It'll be another corner for the visitors. It's their third corner in his opening 10 minutes of football for the visiting side. Yeage's last two attempts, both short, the near post. Can he deliver something more dangerous? He does. This time headed out by Sydney. First to the ball is Hayward. Delivery back into the box, and Campbell couldn't direct his header goalward. And goal kick now for Sydney FC. And Lockie Campbell and Grant Lynch doing a lot of the commanding from the back, and you can hear Campbell just calling his team to step high, and you can see there Blacktown have committed 5 players into a very, very high part of the pitch, trying to force the mistake, and they have. Gardowski there going down after the challenge from Ben Berry. Great ball from Lynch into the feet of Hayward. Maniti back for Lynch again. Berry under pressure from Gardowski. Goes to Henderson. Sends it long, and not the best kick from Henderson. Straight into the feet of Middleton. Does well there, Middleton. Was under a little bit of pressure, but came away with the ball. Here's Kresnar. Drops it off for Lynch. As I said at the top of the broadcast, Blacktown only need a point to secure finals football. Sydney Olympic currently 6 points behind them. Blacktown host the Wollongong Wolves on the final day of the season if a point's required there. And of course, Olympic has to win both of their remaining 2 games. But if they were to finish on equal points, well, Sydney Olympic has the best goal difference out of a number of teams in the competition. Both Sydney United and Blacktown are in a -1 goal difference. Sydney Olympic +14. Great touch there from Campbell. Berry switches play toward Kresnar, who probably could have brought that down had he taken one more step back, but kept the ball anyway. Now looks to deliver into the box, but just took too long to set himself up there. Needs to be a little quicker from Kresnar on this left-hand side. Waratifi and Lockie Campbell in the box just discussing who's making which run. And Lockie Campbell, for someone that's not your tallest defender, does very well in the air and scores a number of goals. Very potent in the box is Lockie Campbell. And Maniti ignores Berry. He'll deliver an in-swinger now. Cross comes in toward the far post. Headed back across goal. Waratifi's there. Bouncing about, and Sydney finally clear their lines. Here's Kresnar. Back for Hayward. Asking for the ball back. Here's Kresnar. He gets it. He delivers, and wasn't a bad ball, but a little too close in the end to Zavardinos, who thought about releasing early. Instead, slows things down and waits for his team to set up. Here's Marshall White. Jimmy Van Wieren screaming at his team, asking them to bring the ball forward and get it out, but ball movement's way too slow. They've been caught, but they win the ball back quickly. That was a good pass. Middleton unlucky there. The conditions getting the better of him. And yeah, was almost sneaking in there. Good run from Rose. Here's Marshall White. Middleton under pressure. Touchdown White to Zach De Jesus. Now Middleton. Lancaster switches play. An offside flag raised on Milliner. That was better football from Sydney, better ball movement. Berry, forward for Campbell. And Hayward back to Campbell, who didn't see Gradowski coming over his shoulder from the blind side. Cross comes in toward Middleton, but not the best delivery there. And Kresnar should be able to see this over the line and does. Both these two teams aren't in the best run of form either. Sydney only one win in the last 2 months, and of course their A-League sides, Australia Cup. Appearances have hampered squad numbers somewhat, and I mean positively a lot of players are moving from the NPL side toward that A-League team and helping fill gaps. Thus, their run of form over the last 2 months. We'll get to Blacktown's form in a moment. They've got to deal with another. Oh, sorry, now they've got the opportunity to put Sydney under some pressure. Cross comes in toward the middle of the box and looks as though it may have come off a little bit of a hand, but there was no complaints from the Blacktown players, so nothing from that. It was a poor pass there from O'Brien, but well recovered. Now Grant Lynch. Kresnar driving forward. A bit of space there for Kresnar. Gets it back out to Yej. Has to think about it. Gets the ball into the box. What a ball. And Campbell will do well to keep this in. He does. Well delivered cross into the box. Sharp delivery. Tough to deal with for defenders as Berry now does the same and was looking for Kresnar at the far post. Yeah, should get there first. He does. Force back to Grant Lynch. Good feet from Lynch to get rid of Middleton. Hayward there was trying to poke the ball forward. Didn't really find a teammate, and now Sydney can go the other way, but they've given it up as well, as has Hayward, and frustration from Mark Crittenden in the Blacktown dugout. Here's Maniti. Ball back for Kresnar. Not many options for Kresnar, and he's forced to restart again. And as I was mentioning earlier, Blacktown's form not the best. Only 2 wins in their last 5 appearances. One of those coming last week late against the Western Sydney Wanderers. A tough game at home, that one at Landon Stadium for Blacktown. Yes, gets his head up, sees Waratifi almost perfectly weighted, falls down for Waratifi in the edge of the area, tried to lay it off for Berry. Blacktown still in possession. Here's Campbell, wide for Yej. Now Lynch has space and time to deliver. How about that for a ball? And they wanted the penalty Lockie Campbell coming in from right back. And he's asking the question. Felt he was brought down with both hands. The delivery from Grant Lynch, though, inch perfect. Campbell, unlucky there not to get more on that. He's had two good opportunities now, Lockie Campbell, already in this game. For a defender, quite impressive. And Maniti working back, but the ball still ends up with De Jesus, who's looking for Gradoski. Loses the aerial battle. It's a heavy touch from Lynch, but recovered well. Lynch. Kresnar back for Benberry. Finds Maniti centrally, who's looking to release Hayward. And how's that for a ball? And Hayward just couldn't take it forward. But Jacob Maniti, some pass and vision to thread the needle there. It wasn't an easy ball to play. Found Hayward, who just couldn't get away from the defender. That breaks fortunately there for Sydney. Berry gets back, avoids the corner. Milliner was poking around with intent. Throw taken, headed away. Sydney still with possession. Ball came in toward Gradowski, finds De Jesus, but couldn't bring it down. An opportunity there, just goes wide. Sydney's first chance, it was Headley there, creating the opportunity, and haven't seen much of him so far in this game. One of Sydney's most dangerous players, no doubt, Ty Headley. Headed away. And there's Headley coming now, dropping a little deeper, picking the ball up. Needs to get himself involved. One of Sydney's most creative. Doesn't have the ball. Well, Sydney perhaps won't create too many opportunities. Again, just moving the ball a little too slow. Jimmy Van Wieren won't be happy with that. Giving it away. Henderson comes and claims out of his box and takes it back in. Able now to pick up with his hands if required. Instead, plays it short to Lynch. Now Kresnar under pressure from De Jesus. That one blocked there by Lachlan Middleton. Goes out for a Blacktown goal kick. Grant Lynch not happy with Kresnar playing the ball back to him there in a tough position. Latifi flicks it on. Good turn from Yeж and holds off a couple Blacktown players. Last touch off Kresnar. Berry heads away. Forward pass for Gradowski, but Henderson came and claimed. Wasn't a bad idea there from Dylan Rose. Here's Hayward on the far side now. Just kept it in somehow. Looked as though it went out from here, but obviously assistant referee in a good position out there. Henderson sends it long toward Lachlan Campbell. That ball falls for Waratifi. Good touch for Campbell. Yes, wants it played in front, and Campbell's pass was just behind him. A good chance there for Blacktown. Opens up out of nothing, really. Middleton back for Lancaster. This is the first game of round 29 tomorrow. 5 games. Sutherland open the day against Mount Druitt. A massive game that one is in terms of the relegation battle. Sutherland can secure their spot in the top tier with a win there. All but secure, I should say. Mount Druitt would really make things interesting in the final round if they can come away with all 3 points. And Liège earned the free kick there. Clear foul by Marshall White. And if Sutherland can secure their status as a NPL team for next season with a win, Northwest Sydney Spirit can secure the premiership with all 3 points tomorrow. Incredible season for David Perkovic's team. They are 1 win away from securing the premiership. Who would have thought that? Unbelievable season from them. They've already secured their spot in the Australian Championship, something they're most definitely looking forward to. And now 1 win away from lifting a trophy. There's Kresnar looking to get Blacktown with an opportunity, and it looked a disappointing cross, but the ball had already gone out, and it was. Apia hosts St. George. If Spirit are to slip up, Apia need to beat St. George to continue their hunt of first place. The Wanderers take on St. George Saints. The Wanderers need points there. Currently bottom of the league. And Wollongong hosts Marconi. Marconi also hoping for a Spirit slip-up. And on Sunday here at Illingdon, Rockdale Illingdon hosts Manly United. Well, we've got a big game for that 6th spot. Sydney United hosts Sydney Olympic. What a game that promises to be. The winner will more or less... Well, if Sydney United win, they secure finals football. It's the end of Olympics hopes. If Sydney Olympic win, they'll go level on points with United, but as I spoke about earlier, they've got a much better goal difference than their opponents and puts them in the driving seat going into round 30 as the flag's raised on De Jesus, just offside. And we'll have a look at the games that are incoming for round 30. They'll all be played on the same day, kicking off at the same time. On Sunday the 31st of August, Blacktown host Wollongong. That one could have no implications on either team should Blacktown get something from this one. More or less a dead rubber. And then it gets interesting. The Mariners host Western Sydney. That one could have a lot riding on it in terms of the relegation battle. Depending on tomorrow's results, Marconi and Sutherland could have implications on both. Marconi in terms of the premiership, Sutherland in terms of safety. Same can be said the next game when Mount Druitt hosts Spirit. One in a relegation battle, the other looking to secure the premiership. St. George City and Sydney United to battle. St. George Saints and Manly United. Sydney FC hosts Rockdale. And the final game, Sydney Olympic welcome Apia Leichhardt. Of course, the first two get the midweek games off in the final series. Haywood out to Liège. Liège delivers a great ball toward Lynch. And Grant Lynch heads home. A fabulous goal from Blacktown City. pinpoint delivery from Maxim Yež to find Grant Lynch in the box. And Grant Lynch heading beyond Alex Zavardinos to give the visitors a 1-goal lead. It was well worked from Blacktown, patient. They won the ball back after the corner. Yež received the ball. Saw Lynch in the box and found the head of his experienced central defender. And Blacktown lead by 1-0. Campbell trying to see that over the line. Does enough. Corner for Sydney. Something out of nothing for them. Can they hit straight back now, the home side? They go short. Training ground move. Campbell went down in the box and Maniti came to clear. Hasn't been entirely cleared, and Henderson picks up the shot in the end. Not quite sure what happened with Campbell going down. They wanted a foul. It didn't come. As Yež leads things the other way. Lockie Middleton that forced Henderson into that save. It was a shot from a tight angle, though. Was always going to struggle to beat Henderson from there. Here's Maniti. Great ball, early ball there to find Kresnar. And Kresnar delivers to Waratifi. Headed away by Jared Middleton. Campbell throws it back to O'Brien. He's the goal scorer, Grant Lynch. Campbell. Good ball in from Campbell toward Yež, and volleys that just wide. Still looking for his first goal in Blacktown colours. After assisting for the first, Yež almost gets his name on the scoreboard. Great ball in from Lockie Campbell. A good run from the left from Yež, but couldn't direct his volley goalwards. Another good chance for Blacktown. Again, look, there's 5 players putting the pressure on Sydney here, not really letting them play the ball out. They really forced a tough ball back. They've had to clear first time. Kresnar forward for Yež now. Yež all the way back to Maniti, who's been busy as well. Another one of those youngsters who are looking to take the opportunity given to them from all these injured and unavailable players. And there's a good chance there for Sydney FC. Rose's pass off the mark for Headley. Campbell beats one. Has Haywood running in support. Finds his feet. Tough ball from Haywood though toward Ruben Waratifi. Unlike Sydney, to keep the ball movement so slow, they usually flows much easier for them. Of course, they have a number of players out though, and for a young side to be missing 14 NPL players, you can only imagine how difficult it is for Jimmy Van Wieren. They've given a decent account of themselves though, without creating a clear-cut opportunity. They've been decent. Campbell blocks that pass. Another big game this evening. Isn't in the NPL competition, but rather Football New South Wales League 1. The Blacktown Spartans host the SD Raiders this evening, and what a game that is in terms of promotion. A lot riding on the line there. NSW currently top of the league. SD Raiders are second, and the Blacktown Spartans third. There's not many points separating that top echelon of teams in the Football League 1 competition. UNSW are first on 53, SD second on 52. The Spartans are third on 51, and the Northern Tigers and Rodamy Lions fourth and fifth respectively on 48. All of those teams still have ambitions to finish in the top two. Of course, first place guarantees you promotion to the NPL New South Wales men's competition. Second place, a playoff against whoever finishes second bottom in the NPL New South Wales competition. Up until last weekend, there were in fact 7 teams that had the opportunity to finish in the top two. Absolutely incredible season in the Football League 1 competition. And it will go down to the wire to the final day, there's no doubt. When you look last season, it was done and dusted with Mount Druitt's promotion quite early on. Bulls had second place sewed up, even though there was a fast finishing Bankstown City Lions in the background. Ball played through now for Headley. Gets there ahead of Berry. Twists and turns, and Crittenden just telling his defenders to stay on their feet. De Jesus did well to even get a cross out of that. Lynch clears away. Here's Lancaster. Kresnar, touch let him down there. Middleton forward for Headley, and Lynch clears out. Looks as though the rain's finally stopped here at Illingdon. Good work there from Middleton. Beats Yesh easily. Middleton goes for goal again. Tight angle though. Always going to struggle to beat Henderson from that sort of range. Who releases Maniti early. Does the same for Waratifi. Waratifi gets there ahead of Marshall White. Adam Berry now looking to switch play. Searching for Lockie Campbell. And Campbell there rode the challenge. I thought the last touch came off, or didn't really touch anyone. Giving the referee a mouthful as well. Thought he was fouled by Milliner. And Gradowski does well to bring that down, but unable to keep it in. Throw in for the visitors. I'm not sure what's happened here now. Sydney FC ball. I thought it was a throw-in for Blacktown. That's what the assistant referee has said, but apparently a Sydney FC throw. I can tell you Nick O'Brien wasn't happy. Just as I thought the rain had stopped, well, restarted again. Here's Maniti. Square pass for Berry. Forward ball now for Hayward does well, and ankles were clipped. Free kick goes the way of Blacktown. As we approach the last 5 minutes of the first half. Yeж has the chance to deliver another ball into the box. Can he find a second assist of the evening, Maxim Yeж? Cross comes in again, struggles to beat the first defender. Back out to Berry. Whips it in. That was a difficult one to deal with. Good work there from Rose, but couldn't find the pass. Here's Kresnar. And Kresnar just looked confused there. They've won it back though through Hayward, and Hayward expected the run from Yeж, but it was always a tough pass. Tough pass, but Sydney gets away with it, and again, frustratingly, can't keep possession. Kresnar flicks it back for Lynch. Good pass from Kresnar, but Hayward was closed down there. Maniti now. Early pass out for O'Brien. Good ball forward for Campbell. Campbell, great low cross. 40 for Hayward, and how does he miss that? My word, I saw one a couple weeks ago at T United Sports Centre. I can't remember who missed that. I think it was Finn Ballard. But that was another up there for contender of miss of the season. Oh, what a chance for Hayward to put the visitors two to the good. Can Sydney punish them now? It was another great ball into the area by Lockie Campbell. I think that might be a corner, in fact. Last touch came off Lockie Campbell, who's not happy about something. But I actually think this could be a corner for Sydney FC. And I'll tell you what, if it is, Lockie Campbell will absolutely let one rip at the referee. I'm just waiting for it now, because I'm pretty certain it will be a corner. Or will it? The referee says he's called it before the ball went out by Campbell. So he's given a drop ball. I think that's better for everyone's sake that he didn't give a corner there. Here's Maniti. And wanted the run from Yeж or Waratifi. Neither came. Last touch there coming off Tyler Williams. Good battle between Williams and Waratifi. won a lot of those 50-50s has Williams, and Waratifi, not an easy customer to defend. Haywood loses out there, and Beniti popping in front of Grant Lynch and having a chuckle about it as well. First time pass forward for Gladowski. Rose plays it out to Middleton. Here's Williams. Pass intercepted by Maniti. Berry gets it back to Maniti, and referee played advantage. Maniti wanted the free kick, but not necessary when Blacktown had the flow of the play and the ball. Yes. Ball hasn't gone out. Sydney win it back and play on. And now a chance for Gladowski, but well read there by Nick O'Brien. Maniti for Grant Lynch. And Lynch, oh, what a ball that is from Lynch for Waratifi. And Grant Lynch is absolutely feeling it tonight. He's delivered two delightful balls into the box, wrapping it around the Sydney defence. So Waratifi was well defended again by Williams. Made it difficult for the striker to get away from the defender and get a better connection on that. As Kresnar comes away with it now. And now Kresnar plays one forward for Waratifi, but that's way too close to Zavardinos. Kresnar wins that. Marshall White back to Zavardinos. Waratifi thoughts about pressing, but sat back instead. Here's Headley. De Jesus closed down by O'Brien, and Sydney get a corner, their third of this first half. I thought about taking it short, but Headley leaves it. And Miles Milner will deliver an in-swing and out. The last opportunity of the first half, I'd say now, for the home team. Ball gets clipped in. Good header away from Yej. The rebound fell there for Rose, but Maniti closed it down, and it is half-time. It's Blacktown that lead by 1-0 after the first 45 minutes. Maxim Yej with a perfect cross into the box, finding the experienced Grant Lynch, who headed home. Blacktown had a couple more good opportunities in the first half. Weren't able to take advantage of them. Sydney not really able to create much so far in that first half. Both teams, as I said earlier, there's a lot of injuries, a lot of players unavailable for selection. Blacktown finding their feet a little better in that first 45. We'll be back again in 15 minutes for the second half. Teams are back out for the second half here at Illingdon Sports Centre, and we thought we'd had a reprieve from the rain, but just as the teams walked out, the rain came back, and with it a bit of wind as well. So aren't we lucky to be here at Illingdon Sports Centre this evening? I'm sure you at home wish you were here as well. Fortunately for you, we're bringing you this game live. Game that Blacktown City lead by 1-0. A false start there from a Waratifi and Lockie Campbell. I haven't seen him run that fast ever, Lockie Campbell. A retake now. Sydney under early pressure. As I said earlier, 1-0 for the visitors. Grant Lynch getting on the end of a Maximiege cross in the first half. That goal enough at the moment for the visitors to lead. They need a point from this one, Blacktown, to secure finals football. It's just about mathematically done there. 6 points ahead of 7th placed Sydney Olympic. Only thing for Blacktown, if they were to lose these two games and Olympic were to win both of theirs, they would finish behind Sydney Olympic because of Olympic's superior goal difference. A chance here for Liège. He's got on the wrong side of Milinar, but slipped at the vital moment, did Liège. As I was saying, Olympic, the superior goal difference. To Blacktown. The only other thing is that Sydney Olympic face off against Sydney United. That one could have massive implications. But then United has to win their last game of the season against St. George City. So a lot of things have to go against Blacktown if they were to lose this one in order for them to miss out on finals football. But they're just about there. And, of course, any points here will confirm their spots in the top 6. Away with the ball comes Gradowski. Now Rose looking for the pass, finds Gradowski, and Lynch came across just as Gradowski looked to get a touch beyond him. Jimmy Van Buren with massive raps on the youngster and expects big things from him to come. Arrived from Rockdale Illingdon in the transfer window. And Kresnar there, in all fairness, dived in a little wildly. And fortunately for him, didn't get any of Lockie Middleton, but it was a very, very dangerous challenge. Also, Jacob Kresnar, I feel, does a foul throw every time, and that was a tough pass back from Grant to Henderson in these conditions. Just keep an eye on Jacob Kresnar's throw-ins. There's a sneaky suspicion that a lot of them are foul throws, as Ty Headley looks to create something at the far post, but a little bit too far. Ahead of De Jesus. Liège and Waratifi not happy with the challenges coming in from the Sydney defence and these high balls, and well read there by Williams. Tyler Williams getting ahead of Waratifi, and I said those two had a good battle in the first half that Williams had come out on top of after the first 45. See if we get something different in the second. Hayward closed down on the far side. Doesn't look as though either team has made changes at the break. Here's Lynch. What about going back to Henderson instead? Gets it out to Kresnar. And Hayward trying to hold off two Sydney defenders, wins the foul. In that League One top of the table clash we were talking about, SD Raiders lead after half an hour by 2-0 against the Blacktown Spartans. And that will go a long way towards securing SD Raiders a top 2 position. What a season it's been for them, and Goran Ljuboja's side making the round of 32 in the Australia Cup, where they unfortunately lost to MacArthur FC. Giving themselves an opportunity, though, to play against an A-League team would have been a great chance for a lot of those youngsters in that squad to show their quality. Switch ball there from O'Brien for Kresnar, who manages to keep it in. And Kresnar gets it back as well. Crosses in with the right foot, but cleared away. Adam Berry back for Grant Lynch now. Here's Berry again. Great ball out wide to Lockie Campbell, but in these conditions, tough to control. It's number 4 v number 4, and Lockie Campbell doesn't give up on that, wins it back. O'Brien with the cross, not the best one. Good feet there from Middleton. Gradowski now, and Middleton's made the run on the other side, but Gradowski unable to play the reverse pass. Ball forward by Kresnar. And foul there by Hayward. And Marshall White's on the far side. Headley. Out came Ben Berry. Headley continues driving forward with the ball. Cross comes in. It's a good ball toward Gradowski. And Gradowski equalizes. An excellent finish from Jordan Gradowski. I thought he'd muddled it up with the first touch, but he recovered well and blasted the ball beyond Henderson. And Sydney FC are level after 52 minutes. And a different voice on the mic here at Illingdon Sports Centre. Sounds like it's the Don, Jarek Pachelski. Jarek, who's a favourite wherever he goes. And shout out to him as well. But Sydney are level out of nowhere. It was their first real opportunity of the game as well. And Jordan Gradowski at a ground where he scored many goals for his boyhood club, Rockdale Illingdon, now scores in the sky blue colours of Sydney FC. Great ball forward now for Yeж. They look to get this on the left to Maxim Yeж. Cuts it back to Adam Berry and tries to just get it in a danger zone with Lockie Campbell sneaking around in an attacking area. Cross in from Berry, and Waratifi just put himself in front of Zavardinos. The referee said there's advantage there, but I'm going to disagree with him. I don't think there was a foul in that. Waratifi just put himself in front of the young Sydney keeper. And in the conditions, Zavardinos fumbled but then regathered. Goalkeeper's a protected species. Endangered, they'd say. Again, Goalkeepers Union, I'm sure, will be writing letters of complaints about yours truly. And Campbell there misses that one. Another corner now for Sydney FC. Much better in the second half now from the home side. Headley will take the corner now for Sydney. As I said, a team that's suffering at the moment Speaking to Jimmy Van Wieren pre-game, 14 players unavailable. They've gone short here. Another training ground move. Lockie Campbell reads that though, now leads the counter. Great challenge from Dylan Rose. Out wide for Headley. A bit of space for him. Goes central now, looking for an option. Forced all the way back though to Middleton. And Lancaster delivers toward the far post. All the way out to De Jesus. Sydney continue the pressure. De Jesus' cross isn't exactly where he'd like it to go. And Yej can't take it forward. Ball goes out, throw in for Sydney. It looks as though Blacktown came out earlier than their opponents, a couple minutes earlier. Oh, and that's a bad challenge by O'Brien on Milliner. He'll get a yellow card. Straight into the Achilles of Miles Milliner. And the referee straight to the pocket to give a yellow card. There was no dilemma there whatsoever. As I was saying though, Blacktown actually walked out a couple minutes before Sydney. And with the rain and being as wet as they are, don't think that would have helped their cause whatsoever. Sydney more or less walked out when the referees did. Hayward looking to run at the Sydney defence, and bit of confusion there. Zavardino stayed on his line. The ball was shielded back to him. The keeper hadn't committed though. In the end, worked out for the home team, but definitely a dangerous moment. Good ball centrally for Headley. And Kresna heading that forward. Here's Lynch. Kresna back for Berry. Lynch again. Gets caught on it, and Lynch there flew in as well. Offside flag raised. And Sydney has Jacob Kremen-Cowan on the bench, Reeve Farias, Oscar Gultekin, Jacob McLaughlin, Zach Fowler, and Junior Conde on the bench. While Blacktown have Keanu Moore, Daniel McHugh, Jackson Bandera, Riley Nolan, Massimo Leontino, and Cooper Rogers. Williams clears away. Kresna heads it higher than it went further. Lynch, central now for Berry. And Lynch going on a bit of a run, but running into trouble. And off the ball there, a bit of a tussle as well. Well read there by Kresna. And now, Blacktown almost breaking there. They get the free kick. Brought back there. And Zach Fowler looks to be coming on for Sydney. O'Brien, square for Berry. Kresna goes down and wins the free kick. Keanu Moore being readied for Blacktown. Jackson Bandera as well. It would be a triple change, in fact, for the visitors. First is Awaratifi. In and around the box. Can't find Hayward. Strong challenge there, and it'll be a corner kick for Blacktown. It's more Bandera and Riley Nolan all will come on, I'm guessing, after this corner kick. Maniti will take. Hayward went short. Still there, Hayward, but this one will be delivered into the area. Cross comes in, overhit slightly. Berry's there, back across. Lockie Campbell goes down. He was looking for the contact there, Lockie Campbell. Definitely not winning any Oscars with that performance. Poor dive from Campbell. You expect a little better. Berry driving forward. Back to Ben Berry. Lynch. Here's Kresna. Closed down easily. Good tackle. And now Sydney looking to go the other way. Gradowski, the scorer of the equalizer. Middleton on the turn, flicks it out, and it's 2-1. Sydney lead. Dylan Rose, I think, has put that away. What a turnaround here at Illingdon Sports Centre. A lovely move from the home side. And after trailing at the break, Sydney have turned it around and now lead by 2-1. As Mark Crittenden wastes no time in making a triple change. A lovely team goal from Sydney FC. And now, how will Mark Crittenden's team react? Yej, Kresna, and Hayward all replaced. On come Moore, Bandiera, and Nolan. And Sydney, who really didn't create anything in the first 45, have come out much stronger in the second period. Oh, and that was neat there by Milliner. But he overdid it after that first move and the substitute, Nolan. Definite fine incoming for Riley Nolan at training on Monday night. Blacktown have a corner. They need to find an equaliser soon. Maniti outswinger. This time header's there and an immediate equaliser. A lovely header. And Sydney led for all but 120 seconds, I'd say. Riley Nolan off the bench, rises highest, and what a header. It's Sydney 2, Blacktown City 2. Great delivery from Maniti. And Nolan getting above all the Sydney defenders to head beyond Zaverdinos. 2-2, it's game on at Illingdon. Mark Crittenden's substitution, working a treat. Nolan, who just come on after being nutmegged, literally 20 seconds before, with his first touch. Hasn't even touched the ball with his foot yet. Scores a header to bring his side level again. An exciting opening 20 minutes, 3 goals already in the second half. Sydney not happy the corner was awarded. In my eyes, it looked as though it was a right decision from the assistant referee. Henderson, that's a heavy touch from the keeper. Got away with that. Sydney will get possession, but in a much more comfortable area for Blacktown than where they were moments ago. Goal kick for the visitors. Taken early by Henderson. Blacktown want all 3 points. They won't settle for a draw, even though that's enough. Berry had Nolan making the forward run. Goes to Campbell instead, and Campbell gets caught there. Headley and Milner both closing him down. Headed back by Awaratifi. Now Berry on the turn. Lynch. Ball gets through to Bandiera. Good ball by Bandiera. Nice turn by Moore as well, and trying to combine with his fellow substitutes. Now, Blacktown, after starting this second half poorly, look, the team in ascendancy now. Came out a bit lethargic in this second half and lackadaisical. Were punished early, 2 goals to Sydney, and then Mark Crittenden made a triple change straight after Blacktown conceded that second goal. And the game has swung again. This time the visitors in control now, pushing for a winner, or the goal at least to put them ahead. Halfway through this second half we are now. It looked as though Sydney were going to bring Zach Fowler on, but he's been sent to continue warming up, and that was just before they scored their second goal. Waratifi trying to hold off Williams. In fact, it was Rose that was keeping Waratifi at bay. More or less, Blacktown scored more or less from 2 set pieces. I mean, the first was a corner that was delivered and then played back out to Yeж, who crossed the ball in again, and Blacktown scored via Lynch. Can they add another after that goal from Nolan? Maniti will take another corner here. It's another good ball in. Nolan again! The substitute scored 2 off the bench. 2 headers. Beating Zaverdinos again. A masterstroke from Mark Crittenden. Jacob Maniti with another great delivery. And Riley Nolan rises again and lifts his team into the lead. Blacktown now lead by 3 goals to 2. What a turnaround again. A game that's had everything so far. What an introduction for Riley Nolan. How will Sydney respond now? I asked the question after the triple sub from Mark Crittenden. Oh, and how about that? Comfortable from Ben Berry. Jimmy Van Wieren now needs to show his tactical now, says Waratifi uses his pace. Good ball across goal, but Keanu Moore doing his best to get in that position. Couldn't get there in the end. Great work from Waratifi to get past Williams, who I said had the better of their battle this evening. On that occasion, though, Waratifi did very well. Now, Jimmy Van Wieren about to make a double change. Zach Fowler and Jacob McLaughlin, I think, about to come on. Rose plays it forward. And Berry wide for Lockie Campbell. Here's Berry. 20 minutes to go in this one. Lots of time still for the home side to get back into this one. And Milliner has come off. Fowler, sorry, McLaughlin on for Milliner. And Fowler has also come on. Good chasing there from Oratifi, but excellent run here from Rose, trying to slide the ball forward. Might work out here for Fowler. Oratifi, heavy first touch. Sydney win the ball back. But Keanu Moore this time working hard. Lynch sends it forward. Awaratifi brings it down and keeps the ball as well. All the way back to Zavardinos. Meniti on the turn. Lynch, forward for Bandera. Ball falls for the substitute, more in the box, and his shot's blocked, and Zavardinos will pick that up. Just trying to get confirmation on who scored that second goal for Sydney. I think it was Dylan Rose. May have been Middleton, but I'll get confirmation for you soon. Blacktown going to make another change. Massimo Leoncino about to come on. It was Lockie Middleton that scored for Sydney, so apologies to him. I thought it was Dylan Rose. And Leoncino is coming on, but it is a Waratifi that'll come off. He's really put a shift in, and as I said earlier, quite the battle with Tyler Williams. He gets a rest now. An opportunity for Massimo Leoncino to go to the point of the attack and try and create something to make sure the points are going back to Landon Stadium. Throw in for the home team. Just proves how dangerous Blacktown are from set pieces. They've given the ball away there for Moore, who has a go on the right. A stinging effort. Leoncino just wide. And that was his first touch as well. What an introduction it would have been for Massimo Leoncino. It was a very powerful effort as well from Moore as Sydney give the ball away again. Adam Berry now. Bandera. Moore back for Berry. And Bandera closed down there. Lynch forward for Adam Berry. We're inside the final 15 minutes now. Blacktown lead 3-2. They led at the break by 1-0. Sydney managed to turn things around. Only for Blacktown to do the same after a triple change by Mark Crittenden upon conceding that second goal. And substitute Riley Nolan stepped up to the scene, scoring a brace. Literally within 5 minutes of coming on. 2 headed goals. Incredible introduction for the youngster. And Lynch intercepts that pass. He's had a good game, Grant Lynch. Berry just slowing things down now. A bit of experience. Lynch takes it forward and changes the side now. Campbell. Good header there from Williams. Under pressure. And Nolan putting Middleton under pressure. Good work there from Lachlan Middleton. Headley. A very quiet game by his standards. Lancaster. Here's Headley. I said in the first half, Sydney was moving the ball a little too slow for their standards. You could hear now a call of ball speed. And it falls for Gradowski again! And Jordan Gradowski takes advantage of the loose ball inside the box and volleys beyond Henderson. And Sydney are level again. We've got another goal in this crazy game. It's now 3 goals apiece. Jordan Gradowski, a typical striker's finish. Giving Henderson no chance in the Blacktown goal. And we're level. And back to the start all over again. Now can Sydney retake the lead. Here's Fowler. Headley's there in support. Fowler gets it back out to McLaughlin. McLaughlin again, all the way back to Williams. And if you're across all of our leagues here under the Football New South Wales banner, there was an absolute... If you think this was crazy, last night's game was almost impossible. Fraser Park led by 3-0 against the Granville Rage after 52 minutes. Then there was a period of 10 to 15 minutes of absolute mayhem. Granville got it back to 3-3. We'll just see Lockie Campbell here on the attack if he can do something for the visitors. I thought he won a corner, it's a foul. Anyway, back to my story. Granville got back from 3 down to equalise 3-3. Minutes after making it 3-3, Fraser Park retook the lead 4-3. There was about 15 minutes to go. In the 95th minute, Granville led by 5-4. In the 97th, it was 5-all. As Berry has a chance for Blacktown. So if you think this one's been a topsy-turvy game, imagine being the coach of either Granville or Fraser Park. You'd be in hospital right now. With a few heart palpitations, no doubt. A 97th minute equalizer. Incredible. That's football. That's why we love this game. Can either of these two teams find a winning goal with 10 minutes to go? Here's Keanu Moore looking for the pass. Intercepted. Berry gets it out to Bandera, who delivers, but not the best delivery from him. Goal kick for Sydney. They get a reprieve. As Jimmy Van Wieren looks to inject some pace and trickery with Junior Conde preparing to come on. Tough pass back from Fowler. Good run there through a couple challenges, and Fowler looking for Gradoski, who's on a hat-trick now. Helps it on its way to Jacob McLaughlin. Cuts it back, but not good enough there. Had to be better. Nick O'Brien comes away with the ball. Here's Maniti. Wide for Keanu Moore. Lynch. Square for Campbell. O'Brien first time pass, but there was no one there. And Blacktown were short in numbers for a moment. And Gradoski now. As I said moments ago, on a hat-trick, Jordan Gradoski. And Keanu Moore gets back. And Bandera plays it forward. And Sydney come forward again. Headley gets to the ball, keeps it in. Up against Campbell, got away from him. Wins the corner. And Sydney will make that change now. Lachlan Middleton, the scorer of Sydney's second goal, coming off now to replaced by Junior Conde. Again, apologies to Lachlan Middleton. Called Dylan Rose as the scorer of that second goal. A lovely team goal. As Headley prepares to deliver this corner in toward the back post, and Middleton would have done well to get that back. He did well to keep it in, but didn't keep it in for long. It'll be interesting to see how the Sydney team copes in these final moments. A few of them out on their feet. Oh, it's a poor touch from Nick O'Brien. Here's Fowler. Back out to McLaughlin. This is a chance now for Sydney. And Gradoski was inches away from a hat-trick and putting Sydney 4-3 to the good. Great ball from Jacob McLaughlin. We've had an excellent game of footy on this Friday night to open round 29, the penultimate round of the NPL New South Wales men's regular season. Obviously, finals football to follow. And Sydney crossing towards Gradoski, headed away. Junior Conde to McLaughlin. Another good, dangerous ball in the box, and nobody really reacted in time. Marshall White was there. And Sydney will go to the bench again. This will be their last change of the evening. Middleton. And Lancaster went down with cramp. And this is a chance now for Nolan, who's also on a hat-trick. Cuts it back, and what a save from Zaverdinos. He did it last week. He's done it again. Showing up at the right moment. And Bandera now crosses in toward Nolan, and what a diving header. Nolan about to score a hat-trick. And Tyler Williams throwing himself at the ball to deny Nolan what would have been his third of the night and would have put Blacktown back in front for the third time tonight. It wasn't to be. Samuel Lancaster ready to come off, but the Sydney bench refusing to make a change on a corner. They know how dangerous that is. In particular, when Blacktown's already shown how potent they are. Maniti delivers. Ball hasn't been fully cleared. Berry's there to play it out wide to Maniti. First time cross and slice clearance. It'll be another corner. Came off the wrong side of Rose's foot. I'll tell you what, Nick O'Brien, sorry, it was Ben Berry, wasn't too far away at all from that last Maniti corner. Can Nolan make it a hat-trick of goals from the corner as well? Let's see, as Maniti delivers. Good ball again, and Nolan was there once more. Berry misses the ball there, and Headley was looking to race away. Good foul there from Adam Berry, had to make it. And now Sydney will make that change. Oscar Gultaken will come in from Lancaster, who hardly makes it off the pitch. Cramping up for the last few minutes. Couldn't hold out until full time. Sydney had to make that change. Middleton. Williams under pressure. And that ball went out before Rose got a touch, and two balls on the park. Blacktown were looking to break away there quickly. I'm telling you now, that would have been a very dangerous situation for Sydney had that second ball still not been on the park. Caden Henderson should have been aware to that, to just throw it out over the sideline. And Middleton clears away. And Berry has Fowler bearing him down. It's a tough pass back for Henderson. The ball is bouncing. Henderson has to take it out wide. Did well in the end, the keeper, and almost too well with the ball forward because Keanu Moore was sniffing around. He's Zaverdinos. Leoncino putting on a bit of pressure. And coming away with it is Williams. Campbell read it, but he's blocked effort there only as far as Headley, and McLaughlin will come back with the ball now. His cross is blocked. Henderson off his line. Was aware to the danger. Comes and collects. 90 seconds remain of the 90. We're interested to see how much time is added on by the fourth official, and more. Oh, and it goes down there. It's a good challenge. Had to be made because Keanu Moore was just about in there. Nick O'Brien needs to be careful. He's already on a yellow card and he'll go off here. That is so silly from Nick O'Brien. The referee hasn't noticed it's his second yellow. Very, very lucky assistant referee aware to what was happening there. I think O'Brien was already walking off. Had he turned around and kept going, I'm not sure that the referee would have noticed. And Blacktown's had to make a change here because of that red card to Nick O'Brien. I said this game's had everything. Now it has, with O'Brien's red card. Jake Briggs has come on. And Headley did well to keep that in, and luckily Grant Lynch didn't go to sleep there. Rose clips it forward, and Henderson comes and claims. And Henderson's kick is sliced. Getting a mouthful from his coach as well. There'll be 3 minutes of time added on. I'm a bit surprised with that, considering we've had 5 goals in the second half, a red card, substitutions as well, and a couple injuries. I thought there would have been a bit more time added on. Nonetheless, we've already had 60 seconds of the allocated 3. Henderson takes it forward, sends it toward Lockie Campbell now. Berry comes away with the ball. Sydney wanted a foul, and Berry just playing it in the forward position. Flicked on. Briggs gets his first touch and finds Maniti. Lynch now. You can hear Crittenden ensuring that he's got balance at the back. He knows the point's enough here. And here's Briggs. Lynch. And there's no one there. Zavadinos will have time to receive this almost in the corner, at the corner flag. And Zavadinos sends it forward. Headed away by Berry. Headley now. Graudowski. Back for Headley. It's a foul on Graudowski. Smart play from the young Jordan Graudowski to earn the foul there. Waited for the contact and went down immediately. Very intelligent from him. And McLaughlin now will deliver this free kick. Good ball into the box. Headed clear. Dylan Rose now puts it back into the mixer. It's found its way through, and Gultekin's effort blocked by Caden Henderson. Crittenden telling Henderson to wait before he sends it long. That's 3 minutes done, and that is full time at Illingdon Sports Centre. The spoils are shared. What a game of football. Sydney FC 3, Blacktown City 3. It was the visitors that went into the break. A goal to the good. Grant Lynch scoring a header off the end of a Maximiers cross. And Blacktown looked comfortable and heading toward 3 points. But Sydney really turned the screw in the second half. First an equalizer to Jordan Graudowski. Then Lachlan Middleton put Sydney ahead after a lovely work team goal. But then Mark Crittenden, as soon as that second goal went in, made a triple change. And what a treat it worked for the visitors. Not even 120 seconds after conceding, Riley Nolan first equalised to make it 2-2 after just coming off the bench with his first touch. And then 4 minutes later, Nolan put Blacktown ahead, a brace to the youngster within 5 minutes. But Sydney hit back once more. Gralorowski again getting on the score sheet and giving us a full-time score of Sydney FC 3, Blacktown City 3. The action continues this week. Make sure to tune in. Some massive games coming in both the relegation battle, the finals football battle, and the premiership, which can be sewn up tomorrow by Northwest Sydney Spirit should they take all 3 points against the Central Coast Mariners. But for now, congratulations to Blacktown City securing another finals appearance. But from Illingdon Sports Centre, it's good night. Sydney FC 3, Blacktown City 3.